And there she be, Retro ReWire at HQ. JJ here. We're going to be doing a game pickups video for, I guess, for the month of October. These are my pickups, about 31 pieces in total. It's now November 3rd. And after this is done, I'm going to go do some game hunting. But check this out. We got the Neo Geo AES. This is the pickup. And it's saying that it had a malfunction, that the controller wasn't working, but this thing is a thing of beauty. Now, it's a revision 3.5, and the serial number is in the 75,000 range. I'm not sure if there was a case swap or whatnot, but in looking and inspecting it, it looks like it's never been opened. And this joystick is from my other Neo Geo. I haven't even tested out the joystick that they're saying isn't working, but this is probably like one of the bigger pickups of October, but a thing of beauty there. And let's just, I guess I got everything here on the table. It's not going to be glamorous or anything, but let's just start with the hardware, I guess. But we got a Core Graphics here. It's got a little bit of a ding. Now this one came in at 4,995 yen or something like that. It didn't include like the little back cover, but I happen to have an extra one. I also have the Core Graphics 2, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this. I mean, for the time I will, but you know, if there ever comes a need where I need extra funds, then I guess this bad boy will be the one to go, because I do prefer the Core Graphics 2. It's just more sleek to me. But beautiful piece of machine. I also have the white PC Engine, the original. Here we have a GameCube. This one's coming in at 1,000 yen. And silver. Now the silver GameCube was actually the second GameCube that I bought. And this must have been like 2003 sometime. Resident Evil 4 was coming out, and I had to have a cube. And I remember I got it at Walmart, that original one. This one came from the junk bins of old Hardoff. But anyhow, silver GameCube. Now, I should say that this one is not working. It does power on, but it's not reading discs, so most likely have to change out the capacitors on it. And then here, let me boot up the old Switch Lite. This is the sole digital pickup, which is IRM Collection Volume 3. This was gifted to me by a viewer of the channel, so hugely appreciated. I was playing through this, and I've beaten the first game in the collection, which is pretty much the one that I really wanted to beat. But we'll load it up here. Just real quickly, bear with me. We'll do Ego, and it's going to be Mystic Riders. Excellent game. It also has Mr. Heli and then Dragon Breed, which is going to be the next one that I'll play. I still do want to get the limited edition because it comes with the soundtracks and everything, but very cool and highly appreciated. So thank you very much for that. We'll just go ahead and let it do its thing there. Now let's just go, I guess, to PC Engine. We got PC Genjin, or Bonk 2. Now, this one I had before, but I sold my other copy because it was in fairly rough shape. And this one is far cleaner. And I think well, first of all, for the month of October, I ended up selling just under 40 games. And I think in this pile is close to like 31 or 28 games, somewhere in that range. But anyhow, I sold a couple games and I rebought ones that are in better condition, and this is one of them. Gunhead is also another. The one I had smelled like freaking cigarette smoke. So, and I had that copy for like 3 years and it never once went away. So enough is enough. I sold that one and I ended up getting this copy. And there you go. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the original sleeve, but it's all good. None of my things need to be like super perfect, because, you know, in this day and age, the stuff that's really pristine, that was really inexpensive, is long gone. We're past those days. We all know this. Here we got Psychic Storm. I was playing this one. In fact, as a matter of fact, I took this PC Engine with me when I went to work because, you know, it's like the little briefcase. So it's really easy to like, it makes it that much more portable, right? And I started playing this one in the hotel room. And it's not bad. Like visually, the visual flow, like I do like it, but some parts seem a little bit bland and some of the levels are a little bit padded, but I will beat it. And you know, it'll remain in the collection because it's not like super bad. This is another one that I ended up replacing. I got a good deal on this. As you can see, that's the price that I paid. And I ended up selling my copy at Surugaya and they gave me 4,500 yen. So that original copy that I had, which was a little bit rough in shape, ended up paying for most of this copy. At the end of the day, I think, you know, with the original copy that I had, I paid like about 8,000 yen. So it kind of same price almost. This is another one that I replaced, Salamander, 6,000 yen. This one was far cleaner. The copy that I had a severely sun-faded spine. So, you know, this is probably like the biggest PC Engine Super Graphics pickup. This is one that I've been wanting for quite some time. As you can see, there's the price, but beautiful cover. And I have many versions of this game. You know, I have it on the Sega Genesis. It's part of the Sega Saturn and PlayStation 1 Capcom Generations Volume 2 collections, which I have. I have it on the Xbox as part of the Capcom Classics collection. And I have it on the Nintendo Switch as part of like the Capcom Arcade Stadium. But still, love this game. This is probably one of my all-time favorite series. As you can see there, I got old Arthur and old Firebrand or Red Areem or whatever you want to call him. But excellent game. And I will definitely beat it. I think I made it to the third level. I didn't go too deep into it, but here's Vigilante. I got a pretty good deal on this. Can't remember exactly what I paid, but I got this at Wonder Goo out in Ashikaga. And I think it was like 1,400 or 500, something like that. I have it up on my Instagram, but I'm trying to get all the IREM games that were released for the PC Engine. And this one was kind of interesting. And look at that cover. I don't know if that would fly nowadays, but interesting cover. And then here's another IREM game. We got Mr. Heli, which is also a part of that IREM collection, which it also includes the PC Engine version. Where is it? Yeah, there you go. This is the PC Engine version, but it's also here. Pretty cool game. As you can see, there's the price paid. Highly recommended if you like shooters and IREM games. But there's that. We'll let that play. We got some Neo Geo CD action, The Aggressors of Dark Combat, or Gangan. And this one is actually pretty good. It's pretty much like a back alley street brawler type of game. And it also features Fuma from World Heroes fame. I think it's the same publisher, Alpha Denki, but or developer. But great little game. I got this at the Super Book Off Bazaar in Ota. This was a little bit of a travesty because it's KOF 96, 900 yen, which typically it goes for double that. But it didn't include the game. Let me see if I could show you guys what it did include. It's pretty much the KOF 96 fan disc. And, you know, that's kind of a bummer because I wanted the actual game. It's like the final game, final KOF game for the Neo Geo CD. It came with this. And that's what happens, you know, when you go to these game shops, definitely ask them to check out, you know, the condition of the game before you buy it. I got a little bit confident, but that was a little slip up on my part, but a little bit of a bummer. So KOF 96, hopefully I could find a loose copy at some point. Then we got Top Hunter. Now this is not the price that I paid. I paid about 5,000 yen for it. This is the price that I originally paid for my original copy, and I'm just kind of walking over here to show you why I decided to replace this copy, because as you can see, there's some serious sun fading going on. Let me see if I can get the glare. Yeah, there we go. See that? Homie, don't play that. Got to get rid of it. So this one, I will be taking it to Surugaya. Surugaya is currently offering 2,700 yen, I believe, on the purchase price. And that's the nice thing about Surugaya, is that they list all their purchase prices online. And then here we got Dreamcast games. So we got Twinkle Star Sprites. Now this one does feature full English language options. I can't remember, it might have Spanish too, and of course Japanese. There's the price. I got this one at the Surugaya in Honjo. And this is also available for the Neo Geo CD, the MVS, as well as the Sega Saturn, which a lot of people prefer the Sega Saturn version. For the time being, I'm good with this Dreamcast version. I did play a little bit of it, so I'm looking forward to this one. Here we got Super Magnetic Neo. I used to have the North American release to this many, many years ago, and I haven't played it in a long, long time. Part of the reason that I picked it up is because of the interesting cover and then the price. And I got this one at the Surugaya out near Chiba Chiba Station. We got Biohazard 3 Last Escape for 6,500 yen. I had a copy of this, which I picked up in Furuichi at the radio building over in Akihabara. There's a Furuichi on the 7th floor. And I paid 5,000 yen for that copy, but unfortunately, my Dreamcast would not read it past a certain point, like a little bit after the first meeting with the Nemesis. After that, it just wouldn't load. So I ended up getting rid of that copy. I can't remember what I got for it. I think that copy got me like 2,000 yen, and then I ended up getting this one here, which this one is fully working. I was able to get past that point, so happy to have that. And then here we go. Battle and Chase. This is a racing game featuring old Mega Man. I got this at the Hard Off in Nagaura, up in Chiba. It was about 2,000 and some change. And this was released in North America as part of the Mega Man Anniversary Collection for the PS2, Xbox, and the GameCube. It's unlockable. Now, I'm not sure if it's available across all those versions, but it wasn't unlockable, most likely. But I haven't played too much of it, but I'm definitely looking forward once I have more time. And then here's Biohazard. Now, that's the price. My original copy of Biohazard was severely sun-faded on the English side of the spine. So this one is in far better condition. And I sold my copy and replaced it with this one. Typically, this one is now hovering in like somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 at most places. So, you know, when I saw it for that price, I was like, yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. Here we got Ultraman Powered for the 3DO. Check this out. Now, this is kind of a funky one. I was playing it a little bit, and I'm definitely looking forward to putting more time into it. But typically, this one goes for like twice or 3 times as much for this price. So this was at the Book Off in Ashikaga in Toshigi. And then we got an early Warp release. This is a puzzle game. As you can see, Flopon the Space Mutant. And I'm a huge fan of Warp. I love the D series, D's Diner, especially the Dreamcast and the original. Well, you know, I just love them both. And this, I believe this game may have been the first 3DO game. I'm not really sure, but I was playing a little bit of it, and it's definitely interesting. So I'm looking forward to giving this puzzle game a little bit of a test run. Speaking of test run, we got Overdriving, or The Need for Speed, $11.50. And I had to pick it up for that price. This one's been on my wish list. In fact, you know, 3 3DO games. I think for 3DO, the last thing that I want, or the last few titles, is I want Microcosm, Nova Storm, Gex, Captain Quasar, and maybe Fire Pro Wrestling. We'll see. And after that, I'm good with the 3DO, but really happy with this Overdrive. And I have the PS1 and Sega Saturn, and they all have like their little quirks, but I want to say overall, I think I prefer this one because it's a little bit more sophisticated in its presentation. Anyhow, we got some Sonic Council, or Soko Seitokai. This is a 2D fighter. I got this at the Momotaro Kingdom in Goi, Chiba. This was also at Honjo, the Surugaya in Honjo, but I believe they were asking for about 3,000 yen more. Now, this one does have the Obi card, which for Sega Saturn, I'm definitely more of a stickler, and I want that Obi card. But an interesting fighter. I haven't played much of it because I haven't had too much time, but I'm looking forward to putting it through its paces. Here we got some Space Harrier. This is a really good game. I have it on the 3DS and the PC engines, but I wanted to have it on a proper Sega machine. So I picked up the Sega Saturn version. And the thing about this particular print is it's not really compatible with the old Model 2 because something about, I don't know what happened, but this version, if you have the round buttons, it's not going to be really compatible. It's going to be really choppy. You have to get the one that has a little revision A. It'll have like the product number around like the little CD ring, kind of like, I'll just put this like around right here. It'll have like a little print of the model number. And if it ends with A, then you know you have the version that is compatible with the Model 2 Sega Saturn. They did it like, I think the same thing happened with, I'm not sure if it was Outrun, one of the other Sega Ages games. A little bit of a blunder, but I also have a Model 1 American, or North American Sega Saturn, and it runs just fine on it. Here we have Skullfang, 6,480. This was at the Momotaro Kingdom out in Kisarazu. Now, it is a little bit sun faded. It does have the spine card, and I was playing this one, and I actually do like it. It's also a part of the Sega Saturn Tribute Collection by City Connection for the Nintendo Switch and I believe the PlayStation 4. But a great game, and it's a part of a trilogy which includes Wolffang, and then I can't remember the first one. But the first one did see a release on the Sega Genesis, or the Sega Mega Drive. But Skullfang. Here we have another Ultraman fighter for the Sega Saturn. Look at this beautiful cover. I was playing a little bit of this one, and yeah, this is going to be good in a cheesy way. I do like fighting games, guys. Freaking love fighting games. As a matter of fact, I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter. And here we go. As you can see, a little bit of a sun fading there. This was about 5,000 yen at the Momotaro Kingdom out in Kisarazu, but it does have the manual, does have the game. I have beaten it, and I was playing it on both the GameCube. This is still the best deal that I've gotten on a console, 110 yen. But I was playing it here on the Game Boy Player on the big screen, and I was also playing it on the Game Boy SP and the vanilla Game Boy Advance. But such a great game. I can't believe I put this one off for so long, but I love Street Fighter, and this is definitely a worthy addition. I do like the new backgrounds, the new elements that they added into the game, but a quirky little title. And with playing this one, now I really want to track down Street Fighter Alpha for the Game Boy Color and Alpha 3 for the Game Boy Advance. Although Alpha 3 complete in the box typically ranges into the 20,000 yen mark, but thankfully I have a lot more games that I want to get rid of. And then here we have this. This game was originally going to be released in North America, but it ended up getting canceled because at the time, I think it was like a Renovation Wolf Team game, but in America they were kind of exclusive to the Sega empire, and Sega didn't want any of that appearing on Super Nintendo, so it was canceled in North America for that reason. It has like some German name, New Gear. I'm totally butchering that, but it's an action adventure game with light RPG elements. And I saw this one at the Hard Off in Kazo, Saitama. And it was, what was the price? It wasn't terribly expensive, like 2,000 and some change. It includes the manual. The box is a little bit rough, but since I'm just kind of curious about it, you know, whatever. But it looks very interesting. So I'm looking forward to playing that one. Here we have Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimension. Look at that price. Now this was at the Book Off in Hikefune up in Tokyo, near Hikefune Station. There's a little book off there, and they had it for this price, so I picked it up. Typically this game is well over the 10,000 yen mark. I played a little bit of it, and if I'm being honest, like those Dragon Ball Z games from this era, I'm not really a big fan. So this one, I might get rid of. And then, you know, I'll give it another try, but I might get rid of it. The only other Dragon Ball Z game, or Dragon Ball game that I have is Dragon Ball GT for the PS1. And that one is really bad, but I have a little bit of nostalgia for it, so I'm definitely going to keep that other one. But Hyper Dimension, very beautiful, graphically very beautiful. Beautiful game. Here we have Raiden Trad for the Genesis. Look at that price. Now the reason for, typically this one hovers around the 9,000 yen or more mark. Now it's going to be sun faded in the spine, unfortunately, but it's okay. No problem. I haven't had time to really play this one, but I'm looking forward to giving it a go, as I freaking love the Raiden series, especially Raiden DX and the next release right here, or the next pickup, Raiden Fighters Aces. I put a couple hours into this, and freaking awesome collection, man. Great game. And you know, I'm playing it on the old PlayStation TV, so when I do that, I pretty much go into the vertical orientation on it. That's the way to play it. But I'm looking forward to playing, completing all the games in this collection, which is going to be 3 of them. You know, we got Raiden Fighters maybe 2, and then Raiden Fighters Jet. I'm not super familiar with all of them, but you know, from what I played, excellent. And here we have Silent Hill 2, The Last Poem. This includes the Maria Born from a Wish scenario, 7,500 yen. Now, I sold my copy that I had. I had the greatest hits version, but look at this one. It's like a foily special edition. So I had a, when I saw it, you know, this was at the Momotaro Kingdom in Kisarazu. So when I saw it, you know, I had to pick it up. But the one thing about it is like the outer edge has like a few scratches. They're not like deep, mind you. They're like just little superficial scratches, but it, you know, it does bug me, because when I picked it up, I was staying at a hotel, and I swear that I remember it being very clean. So I'm not sure if it was my old PS2, which is the Midnight Blue, that scratched it, or if it was just scratched and you know, I'm just having like a brain fart or whatever. But it's easy to buff out, no big deal. And it doesn't, you know, it's not going to prevent the game from booting up properly or whatever. But Silent Hill 2, The Last Poem for the PlayStation 2. And then the final game, Crazy Taxi High Roller. Typically this one goes for 3,000 yen. I picked this one up at the Surugaya, where I picked up the old Neo Geo. And this, yeah, I had to pick it up. Let me look at this price. It includes the map or the city area of part 1 and part 2, and it expands upon them. It adds more areas into there. And I've been having a blast playing this. You know, I had an interesting relationship with this game for a while. I didn't really see the point to the game. Like, it was too simple-minded, so to speak, you know, for lack of a better expression. But just kind of playing it like lately, I've been getting into it, man. Freaking Crazy Taxi. And then the last thing, check this out, new old stock, the PS Vita Cradle, man. This is going to be for the OLED model. I also have the little stand and cradle for the 2000 model. This one I picked up at a book off like over a year ago at a book off plus in Omiya. And this one came in the same shop where I bought the Neo Geo and Crazy Taxi 3 at the Surugaya in Kisarazu, which is like literally a 10-15 minute walk from the Momotaro Kingdom. And in between that walk, there's a book off plus. And if you go down the way, there's going to be an Echo Town with one of the better hard off and book offs in that area. But guys, that's going to be it for the October pickups. And a lot of good stuff. Like I said, I got rid of like maybe, I don't know, like 35 games. Right now, if you're living in Japan, the place to sell is going to be Surugaya. You go online, you create your free account, you create like a new pending invoice, and you can just scan games. And if you go that route, don't try to type everything in, you know, just put in these model numbers like SHVCW3, this game will pull right up. Same thing with here, just put in GS 9108, pull that up, it'll bring up the game. And that's a good way to search on Surugaya too. So you don't have to worry about Japanese, English, any translation. Just put the model numbers, like the SLPM on this last poem. Put up the model numbers and it'll bring up the game on Surugaya's Japanese website. But anyhow, guys, JJ here, Retro ReWire. Stay tuned because I'm going to be hitting up more shops in the Chiba area, Saitama area, and then maybe make a return to the Tokyo area very, very soon. So until then, take care, have a good time, and we'll see you soon. Ciao.